Hello everybody, welcome to the first episode of The Trail Brothers, our new video show to update you on what is happening in the Asia Trailmaster Championship Series and beyond. Our objective is to release a new episode every week, or at the latest every 2 weeks, depending on how much news there is on the Asia Trailmaster scene. Our first episode will have a feature on the Cuc Phuong Jungle Pass race in Vietnam that took place 4 weeks ago, and we will also have an interview with Amir Zaki, one of the up-and-coming Malaysian athletes. That and a lot more in the first episode of The Trail Brothers, and stay tuned in the coming weeks as we will be adding a lot more new features. All right, Mark, Jimin, welcome to the show. How are you doing at the end
I'm
of
fine,
April?
Chris.
You're
I'm
fine?
fine, Chris. Thank
Yeah.
you for inviting and having me here as well with you.
You're also recovered from Cuc Phuong National Park?
Yeah, I recovered well already. So far, all good.
Yeah. Was a tough event, right?
Yeah, very tough. I think not much of the finisher read this time.
Yeah. Well, at least on the 100K. The 100K was much tougher than expected, as we
Yes.
also already reported now widely on our ATM channels.
Mhm.
But it was also a well organized event, right? So, I mean, the
Yeah,
event
it's all
arena was
organized.
really beautiful. The setting was really nice. So we can see here some footage from the 100 kilometer. We just saw Nguyen Si Yu, who would be winning the race later
Mhm.
on. This is the second Vietnamese runner on the 100K. This is footage that you shot, Mark, CP8,
Yes.
Ruyong Sakali here
Okay.
from the Philippines. Can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit more about that place there?
Okay. All right. So here we ride a motorcycle towards to the aid station. So and then we go more deeper around to 5 to 10 kilometer along the trails. From the aid station, you can see all this trails. It's very virgin jungle actually. I can say, Chris. And the routes are a bit how to say, it's a bit dangerous because we can see rocks and stones. If there's runners who didn't notice this well, might get slippery, and it's a very technical route as well. And we can see here our friend here, all the leeches are around his on her legs. Oh, I tell you, it's not. Yeah, it is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Shindy Patricia, the winner of the
Yes,
100K race for women from
correct.
Indonesia, and Tomohiro Mitsukoshi.
Tomohiro, correct.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the leeches were. Do you know how, on average, how many leeches did every runner have?
oh, I can tell you it's count in total maybe around 10 to 15 leashes
10 to 15
to
leeches per
to
runner.
both legs. Yeah, you can see it like, oh my god, there's a lot.
It's unbelievable. I think this is a
Yeah,
new record. I think it's even better than MMTF, so to speak.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very nice view, very nice trail. It's a raw jungle in the middle of Suc Huang. For me, it's a forest actually. It's a public zoo, right? Or
National
some,
park. Yeah. It's the
yeah,
oldest
national
national
park,
park
correct.
in Vietnam.
Yes,
There were also some issues with the GPS tracking because the forest was so thick and so deep that
yes,
even our state-of-the-art devices from Dotrack Asia
yeah.
could not signal.
Mhm.
for more than 5 hours for the race leaders, and 7 8 hours for the more slower runners. Um, I think you have also spoken with Yvette Chong, Grandmaster Yvette. She
Yes.
DNF'd at some point in that race. What was her feedback to you?
So far, she told me that the events are all well organized, but some need to be improved, especially on the aid station that you mentioned before. And then uh, what I can add up is the markings are okay because we are provided by the GPX as well. All the crews are being supportive, but mostly on the aid station. Yeah, I think there's a room for improvement for the organizer for the next edition of Super. Yeah, overall it's okay. But she told me that it's a super tough event. She didn't expect it to be like wow this tough. Then
Yeah,
I told her welcome to Vietnam.
yeah. Well, it was a bit of a subject matter also after the race, right? Even in the
Yeah.
Vietnamese trail running community, that the
Mhm.
100 kilometer was much tougher than expected, than anybody expected.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
do you think that this is a good thing? I mean, that the organizer is not really open about the technicality of his or her race? Because Cook Fong Jungle Pass was advertised as a runnable event. And it was
Mhm.
also for the 42 kilometers that Hisashi
Mhm.
Kitamura won, for example.
Correct.
But the second part of the 100K was extremely technical and
Mhm.
to the point of even a little bit dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Because there was no mobile connectivity or anything like that. Not even the GPS trackers were not even working.
Mhm.
Um, do you think that the organizer maybe went a little bit too far there?
If you ask me about this, what I can observe during the RPC as crew and the race director itself did share about all this technicality of the routes for the first and the second for the first and the second stage. What I can notice is maybe they might forget or didn't emphasize on how technical they are. Maybe in the second loop we can see I think to 60 around 60 kilometer to 80 kilometer where they have to return back to the same station. So this path from I forgot which station, maybe a 6 or 7, where you have to
Mm.
travel from 6 to 7, and then
Yeah,
you have to return back to 6. This section is the toughest one. So you have to climb all the way up and then decline as well. So this technical route with what I understand from all these runners is a bit dangerous, where you have like sharp rocks, very slippery kind of terrain, so which is very technical. So
mm,
most of the DNF runners are from that side. So you can see when I'm waiting for the runners at the CP app, it took me around more than 5 to 6 hours in the jungle itself to wait for the runners to come in. So I told them, oh, this is uh, very rare to see actually. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly. And for example, a race organizer from Mindanao in the Philippines, Doy Calbes, he was
yeah,
also in
Doi
the race. He
Calves.
actually finished, but we
Yeah,
did not even see him finish anymore because our time was up, right?
yes, exactly. Yo,
The
actually,
organizer also
they
extended the cutoff time. Yeah.
yeah, correct. They extended the cut off time at the CP end, if I'm not mistaken, and
Mm.
then at the finishing line also the extended it. Maybe just a couple of runners, but not all, not much,
Yeah.
because most of the runners are DNF at the CP that I told you before, which is more uh, critical. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That was Cook Fong 100 kilometer, 42 kilometers. Hisashi Kitamura, very easy win.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
Does he still impress you?
For me, she will win because when he finished the race, so I made him buying these sausages, right, at the store hawker, and then I told him, "Hey Shashi, how's the race?" You know what he told me? He said, "Mark, it's easy, super easy." And I was like, oh, "Okay, congratulations, Shashi, congratulations." Yeah, it's a leisure run for him to prepare for 50K in Korea soon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He will be running this weekend in Korea 50K.
Yeah.
and he will be up against a very motivated Alessandro Sherpa, and
Yeah.
also versus a Japanese runner from Sapporo. His first name is Koken. I have to say I forgot his last name now, but it will be the second time he takes part in an ATM race. The first time was last year in December, Idzu Trail Journey, and Koken was second in that race. And that should tell you all about his performance level. And Hisashi is also aware of it. And here we also have the results of the Kuk Fuong Jungle Pass 100 race. Here, the top five of the event. Nguyen Siu was the winner, clear winner, about an hour ahead of Vutien Viadung and Yoyong Sakale, who were very close and competing for second place. And then in fourth place, quite a long way behind already, was Nguyen Tien Vo, also from Vietnam. And then in fifth place, Tomohiro Mitsukoshi, who finished fifth, just behind Shindy Patricia, who was in the winner, right? The female winner. Only three women finished the race, Mark.
Yeah.
Shindy Patricia, Vutin Lan Hong, also ATM finalist last year for Team Vietnam, strong runner in Vietnam. And then in third place, we also had Vuti Nguyen. With apologies if we pronounce the names wrong, the
Oh, yeah.
Vietnamese names, right?
Oh, yeah. Vietnamese runners are very strong, Chris. They are very strong. But I can see that their faces like normal, not too struggling. But when I saw Shindy, she says it's very tough. We know Shindy is a big name for in trail runners, right? So she's very potential. She won a lot of races. But when she arrived at the finishing line, I saw her face, and then she told me that these races are very difficult, and I was like, oh, okay, this is totally different, different, how to- different category or different races. And this is
Yeah,
it's a bit difficulty. Not much or uh, not for the new or beginner trail runner who want to go for 100K, especially in Sukwang.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And for runners like Shindy, who also likes to compete from time to time, it's of course a great experience to travel abroad outside of our home country, Indonesia, explore new trails in other countries, because that makes you also a better runner. I mean, you
Yeah.
get your how to say, I mean, you get
Expose.
exposed. Yeah, exactly. You get
Yeah.
exposed to new environments, to new kind of trails, new
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
situations, and that improves you as
Yes.
a elite runner, as a competitive runner. This was the result of the 42 kilometers with Hisashi Kitamura clear winner. Second place, we had Nam Fong Tring. Very, very good performance by this runner, because he came from a few places further back on the leaderboard to finish second at the finish line. Third place, close behind, was Jose
Jose.
Alvalaiz and then Chris De Voice. They were also in a little scrap together for that final podium spot. Apparently, Chris De Voice was in third position, but then missed a marking sign roughly 1 kilometer before the finish line. And that's how Alvalaiz managed to sneak through and get that final podium spot, third place. And in fifth place, we had Nguyen Phuong Quang, who actually tried to follow Hisashi Kitamura in the first 8 to 9 kilometers, but obviously that was a bit too fast for him. Then he dropped back, but still managed to hold on to fifth place. This was the result of the women's 42 kilometers. Christine Mitchell, who was tipped before by Trung Nguyen as a potential race winner, British but living in Hanoi. Second place with Nguyen Thi Huong, and third place Phung Thi Trang. Those three were clearly ahead of the rest of the female field. In fourth place we had Bui Thi Vui, and in fifth place Nguyen Thi Huong Yen. This was a Asia Trail Master Points race, and it was also the last Asia Trail Master Points race of the first quarter of 2023. And if you have a look at the overall ranking so far, we have Alessandro Sherpa
Sherpa.
with most points, 950, courtesy of his win in Dalat Ultra, and second place in Lantau 70 in March. And then second place, Nguyen Siu, also did Dalat Ultra Trail, was third there. And then obviously won Kuk Fong, so 925 points for him. Yoyong Sakale was second in Santa Ines, third in Kuk Fong. Alex Tilley, he won the V-Trail in Laos opening race of the season in early February. And he was, if I'm not mistaken, sixth in Kuk Fong. He did the 42 kilometers as well. And in fifth place, we have Nguyen Tien Vo, third in Cuc Phuong, and also did Dalat Ultra Trail. Obviously, this is still early days. Only a couple of races have taken place. But it's a
Yeah.
good start for Alessandro Sciarpa because with his two victories, with his two race finishes, he's already qualified for this year Asia Trail Master final. This is the
Mhm.
women's ranking with Irish Glorioso, Mark, your friend. 875
Very.
points. I see that her country is obviously incorrect. She's Filipino, so not British.
Yes.
Shindy Patricia Hauha, Elizabeth Dangadan, Katrina Hamlin, So Solivantong from Laos, and
Mhm.
Christine Mitchell are in second place with 500 points. Essentially, these are all the race winners so far in this year's Asia Trailmaster Championship. So I know we're heading into Q2. Mark, going to be a very interesting Q2 with a lot of races coming up, starting with
Exactly.
this weekend Korea 50K. Then we have the Sierra Madre Trail Ultra in Philippines, Cowboy Malaya Classic in Malaysia. We'll be
Malaysia.
seeing each other there. And then it goes on with Bukit Lawang, Orangutan Trail in Sumatra, and so on and so forth. How's it going in Malaysia, Mark? The trail scene is coming back alive after the fasting month, right?
Yes.
Um, I think you will be heading off first to Tioman Island, right?
Yeah, for Tioman Ultra in Tioman Island first, and then we have currently we have another new races which is including the Tioman Ultra, and then next one in Malaysia is Cowboy,
Yeah,
which is the ATM Championship
yeah.
as well. We have Borneo Miler as well, since Borneo Miler
Mm,
uh, it will
yeah,
be in June, coming following after Cowboy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What is the news that you picked up in recent weeks about the Malaysian trail runners, particularly the competitive trail runners?
Most of them they have one this kind of group, yeah, running group as well. They are going for this ATM point grandmaster as well, and then some of them are going for the ATM championship uh, uh, points,
Mm.
points and grandmaster, and
So
then
Cowboy Malaya Classic is the first points race in the 2023 Asia Trail Master Championship
mhm,
Series in Malaysia.
yeah, mhm,
And we've already heard that there will be a lot of good runners there from Malaysia.
mhm,
Um, it's probably also a good test race for those runners who will go to the World Championship in Austria, right?
yeah, in June. Yeah.
Okay. We also had an interview with Amir Zaki, one of
Mhm,
the prominent Malaysian trail runners since a couple of years.
mhm.
Last year, he also moved up a little bit in distance, in race distance. He used to be a short distance runner, right? Um, are you impressed with how Amir Zaki has been performing since last year, also on longer distance races?
Uh, that's what I can observe. Most of the event runners where we did the coverage, I did the coverage, you also did the coverage, and we can see among these potential runners improving more and more towards the event. So especially for Amizaki, yeah, I notice him improve a lot as he learn much of the things. When we talk casually like this, I told Ame, hey, what's your plan after this? Then Ame, hey, what's your training? I mean, do you know what's your your things or what should to be improved, all this nutrition, all the stuff. Yeah, he said, I think this guy is in a good track. For me, yeah, Misaki is a potential. Same goes like Akmal. Yeah, Akmal are learning as well. He learned from the best with Afendi as well as his coaching and mentor all the stuff. For Amezaki, yeah, I'm very impressed what he's doing right now. So this year may be a surprise. We have no idea, but see how it goes in the ATM Championship soon. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good evening, Amir Zaki.
Yeah,
Good evening,
good
Karen.
evening to you.
Good evening, Chris.
Yeah, we are here now in Sportlicious Malaysia in the new store in
Kota Kemuning.
Kota Kemuning.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just recently opened. The grand openings haven't taken place yet, but we are very excited to share the new concept of the store. But I think, once the opening is done, we would be able to have the message through across runners on what's the new concept of the store that we're having here.
So at the moment the concept is still a secret, or can you already shed a bit of light on
Okay. The mission for 2023 for Sportlicious Malaysia is to actually drive towards giving back towards the community. Because, in terms of running, sports, trail running, triathlon, everything I would say, we have been in the market for quite a fair bit of time. So the concept of Run Right, this is what this outlet is called, is to actually assist anyone. It can be anyone from a new beginner or to a seasoned runner or even a professional elite runner to understand their body ergonomics better and to also perform in a better way upon understanding what is causing them to go the extra mile. So we have self-test analysis, we have performance guidance, we have an in-house coach. So we are able to cater for different types of need. For any runners, should they need assistance or if they feel that they need that guidance, they can come forward to us, and then our coach Ray, he will be able to provide their professional services across.
And is the concept dedicated to runners or also to other kinds of athletes?
It can be for anyone, like I said, Chris. We are multi-sports, so it can be road running or just a new beginner that's starting jogging or trail running, a cyclist, a duathlete, or even an Ironman. So it can be for anything, or even a swimmer, because if you're an avid swimmer, you may have weaker muscle groups that you need to work on. So it's good to come in to understand the balance of your body and to get it right so that you can perform better in any sport.
This all sounds very exciting, Karen. So we're looking forward to the official opening soon.
Yes, we'll keep you in touch, and then stay tuned, crowd. You'll be happy to know that we have an opening coming.
And we have here a very good athlete with us this evening, Amir Zaki.
How are you, Amir?
Yeah, I'm good. It's just that we currently having a fasting month, so training and daily life a bit hard to balance right now.
How have you been doing, Amir, since the Mount Apo Sky Race?
Until now, actually, I am more to like hibernating. I can say that because my wife currently waiting for the due date for delivery of my second child.
Congrats.
So it will be again a daughter. So I will have two daughters.
How has it been for you? I mean, the anxiety must have really been building up because since Philippines last year until now, for someone who is so passionate and active into all this, I'm sure that the desire to get back to racing is strong, Amir.
Yeah, I can say that my legs is very itchy to race again.
Why the classic Cowboy Ultra to be the race for you, to be the next performance race for you, Amir?
To me, my direction is always ATM. Throughout the year, ATM is always my priority lah. So Cowboy Malay will be our first race. To me, because for Muslim, they will have a 1 month fasting. Then Cowboy Malaya open up with a middle distance, we can say 50 km, and elevation is not so high, which will be good to us lah. Because to me, 50 km is something is very logic to me, because I have 8 to 5 hours daily for the office works. Then I did morning run and double shift on the evening. So I think doing a 50 km is not a problem. But doing 100 km is very, I can say that it's very difficult. So I did last year only one time 100 km for MMTF, which to me it was very painful. But I still managed to get it done. I think we just maintain with the middle distance because it is easier for me to have a training with my upcoming daughter. So.
And you live in Kuala Lumpur?
Yes, exactly at the city area.
So where do you go training here for trail?
I think if you're sitting in the middle of Kuala Lumpur, it's still okay because you have a facility like tracks and we have some hill, even though it's not so high, it's just 200 to 400, but still it's enough for you to train.
Hill repeats.
Yeah, hill repeats.
Yeah.
Usually, my favorite is doing at the, we call it as a Bukit Sri Bintang. That route is just nice, 1 kilometer for 100 meter, 1 kilometer for 100 meter gain. So usually we for per session minimum we did at least 2,000 meter per session.
So are you saying that you're more like an uphill person, that's more your strength, or you're more towards, a downhill person, or you actually love rolling trails?
Yeah, for me, downhill is not my.
It's not your game.
Yeah. It's not my specialization. But for uphill, I think for me, I quite like uphill because it's very safe to do it compared to the downhill.
Speaking about uphill and all that, Amir, apart from seeing you in the trails and doing drills, I see that you share a lot about your experiences and the importance of having nutrition with you while you train, because I noticed that a lot of runners, they start to get excited about nutrition when they're going to race, but for you, I can see that consistently you are always sharing facts, really really good facts, nutritional facts about nutrition. Perhaps you may want to explain to me why is it that you start from training with a proper nutrition and not on just race day itself?
Yeah, actually I did certified for the nutrition area, which coming from the ATM University, and the one is the local Sport Nutrition Academy. So to me, nutrition is something that is very highly need to take care, because every day you train, you put a positive stress to your body, and you want to train the next day at the fresh body. So because our objective is to wake up in the next morning with a
to
fresh
feel
body,
great, yes.
and to do it a repetition of your training. I was fortunate, Sportlicious being Cranfield and was taken me as an ambassador. Cranfield to me is somewhat, I can call it as a mandatory item, because during a trail run, ultra trail run, your body will exposed to heat, to elevation, and per hour your what do you call electrolytes, everything will be loose, and you need to replenish every time. So like Cranfield is to me is compared to the salt stick, Cranfield is somewhat, we call it as a quick fix. Compared to the salt stick, it's like a prevention. Every hour you have to take like 1 pill per hour just to replenish your electrolyte. But Cranfield is something that you fix it at the right time, at that time.
So are you saying that you take Cranfix when you get that muscle cramp, or you take it as a way to actually assist the muscle to feel better so that you can continue the race?
Okay, usually when my body signaling to me that I will have a cramp when I put this effort or climbing this hill, so usually I will take like a 1 squeeze. And then when I cramp, I usually will take 2 squeeze. By my experience, usually it will take 1 minute to 2 minutes to get your body to release the cramp. Sometimes even one race you won't finish it. You can use for another time.
Yeah, because it's a squeeze bottle.
Yes,
you can
manage,
use it multiple times.
Yes.
Amir, you also run for the first time internationally last year in Thailand. I don't know if it was the first time.
You were my first time.
Yeah.
First time.
And you won the race in Doi Nok, immediately 58 kilometers.
The trail was very hard for me. Very difficult. During the race, we can see the bush up to this level. So it's easy for your body to get scratched and everything. But when you at the peak, the view was very nice, because when I at the peak, it was sunrise. Like 7 a.m. in the morning, so you can see the whole paddy area. Just before the race, I went for the U-top.
Okay. Yes.
It was a big disaster for me because the top 10 runner, it was misled by the marshal. So because I want to be in the top 5.
I remember talking to Amir, after his race in Thailand, and I told him about how great he did, like what I told you during MMTF.
Yeah.
And what he said is exactly true. He just needed that pick-me-up. Sometimes in a runner, you just need that. And I trust that you make the right decision to be there, Amir, because that win brought you back.
Yeah,
Yes, it really brought you back. And then sometimes it's not about how long a race distance you run. It's about choosing what is right for you and know that you are able to conquer it, and then you conquer it well, which is very important for your self-esteem at that point in time.
And then you went to the ATM final in Philippines, Mount Apo, and you had a good race there. But I think you finished together with Sally Yap, right?
At the last checkpoint before the Mount Apo peak, what do you call it? CP4 if I'm not mistaken. So I met Sally there. So throughout the peak, I came up. So we see Banja. So it was very excited to climb with Sally and catching Banja and climbing down back to the finish line. So because to have a fight with Banja Knob is very difficult for her. So what I did is I need to push her at the limit, always pressure her so that he will be put in focus, so that we can make a gap with the Banja Knob, a very big gap, before we put some ease towards the finishing line. So during that time, I was noted that I already in the top 20, which is I think is my objective going there. So it's good enough for me.
It's the teamwork at the end of the day that counts, that matters to you. I think that plays a better memory for you in finishing the race with you and Sally doing it together. I saw the video; it was amazing. Yeah.
My big event this year, I think, will be the Borneo Miler. Because 160 km is something that is very inhuman to do it. It's very long race. So, but I think it's not possible because I have seen a lot of runner, lot of my idol like Milton doing the 100 mile like easy. So I would like to have a try whether for small runner like me, how it will feel.
True.
Actually, my target for that race is just to finish. So
that's good enough. That's good enough.
Because 160 is something.
Because not every race is about coming up top 5, Amir. Because at the end of the day, some races are for us to be there, to experience it, and to see how our body works with that race. And then when you finish the race, knowing that you're there to experience that experience, you leave the race feeling better than pushing yourself through something that you know that it's something called impossible for you, Amir. Yeah?
Yes. Hopefully it will be a good day for me.
Yeah, you will. It's mind over matter in situations like that.
Yep.